Well, the going has been good for global markets this morning. There's green across the screen. The SGX Nifty also indicating a bumper start. Crude has fallen. Brent is now, $92 a barrel or thereabouts. And FI selling has reduced in a big way. But here are all the stocks that you need to focus on this morning as we kickstart trade. Nimesh is here first up with us to tell us about a couple of block deals on his radar. Nimesh, over to you.
Hi, Sonia. So the first is Z Entertainment. As it was expected for a while now, a large block finally coming through in Z Entertainment. So Invesco is going to sell 5.5% stake via block deal today. The indicative price is between 250 to 263. But I understand the block is likely to happen in the pre-open in the block window. So there will be just a 1% discount to yesterday's closing price. Interestingly, there is a 180-day lockup for the seller going forward. Invesco is holding a little over 10% stake and they are selling 5.5%. So the remaining 5% cannot be sold for the next 6 months, which means that potentially the next block will come only after the merged entity gets relisted, and that is likely to come in mid-January. So, and also because of the base equity going up, there will be further reduction in Invesco's stake. So, looks like it's a clean-out trade from Invesco to start with, and it's most likely going to happen in a block window, and hence after the block, looks like the stock will react positively in today's trade. So that's the first block. The second is on Samvardhana Motherson. There is a block deal in that company as well, and FI is looking to sell close to 2% stake via block deal. The floor price is 64.5, which suggests a 7% discount to yesterday's closing price. Now they own 3.5% stake in the company, and there is a 90-day lockup. So further 1.5% cannot come for the next 3 months. But given the deep discount, the stock may open in the red. So green for Z Entertainment and red for Samvardhana International.
You know, the Z, Nimesh, hang in there. We've spoken about, Nimesh had highlighted that this may happen. I mean, people were talking about this for some time. But any reason why they're selling out, Nimesh? Or, I mean, I guess you sell when you want to sell. They sold earlier as well, and they were left, I think, with 10%, right?
Correct. So they sold 7.5% stake 6 months back, and now they're selling another 5.5%. So they'll be left with little around 5% stake after this block deal. But a couple of things, Prashant. While the market was speculating for a week now that the block will come, I was very clear that the block can only come after the shareholder meeting is over. Now, most of the event is out of the way for Z to merge with Sony. So that now it will be a procedural thing. In the next couple of months, the stock will get suspended for few weeks and then will relist. But given that there is a 180-day lockup now, which means that technically no further sell-off can come at least for the next 6 months.
All right. I mean, the point is that you would expect that something like this, with their opposition to this Sony merger being over, they would kind of hang in there, right? But they were waiting, as Nimesh pointed out, and he alerted us earlier as well, that they were waiting for this shareholder approval, and now they're going to sell that.
Just one more point, Prashant, on the futures for the next contract. That's for November. There's a massive open interest build up. Going by what Nimesh is saying, that there won't be a further selling for the next 6 months, and the second factor is likely to happen in pre-open as well. So those shorts could get stuck out actually on the wrong side. Let's keep an eye out on that front as well. November futures should come up for the Z contract. Big open interest build up is what we saw yesterday. That said, let's move on. Abhishek is joining in to tell us about Canfin Homes. Morning, Abhishek.
Morning, Nigel. So it's a mixed bag coming in from Canfin Homes with business momentum being there, but operating profits are almost flat on a sequential basis. So they have made a standard asset provision of about 33.55 crore, which suggests that they have made some provisions on write-offs that they have done with respect to SMA 1 or 2 accounts. The net interest margin has declined on a sequential basis. Now, this is despite the fact that non-salaried customer segment has actually seen better growth than salaried segment. So tax payment is also on the higher side at more than 30% versus 25.8% in the previous quarter. AM growth remained healthy at 22.2% YOY and about 4.7% sequentially, but operating profits grew by a mere 0.5% quarter on quarter, and provision coverage ratio that declined sharply to 43.4% when compared to 54.4% in the previous quarter. Net NPA in absolute value has increased more than 23%. So versus our poll, the NII came in at 251 crore. We were working with a number of 235 crores. The profit is at 141.7 crore. We are working with a number of 143.1 crores. Back to you.
Okay, thanks a lot for that. Well, moving on, Tata Coffee actually reported some margin pressure this time. Surabhi is here to tell us about that, as well as how Maharashtra's seamless numbers look this time around. Surabhi, over to you.
Tata Coffee reported a weak set of numbers. Even though the revenues were up nearly 31% on a year-on-year basis, the profitability, EBITDA, was down 20% on a year-on-year basis at 82 crores. The company management says that the inflation pressure costs continued this quarter as well, and further the profitability was affected due to high coffee input prices, and because of the lag in pricing recovery, the profitability is expected to be better in the second half of this fiscal. Next is Maharashtra Seamless, where the company reported strong results, and this was driven by the seamless segment of the standalone business. The revenue was up 48% and margins were also stronger at 17.4% versus 15% same time last year. On the profitability front, the seamless segment drove profitability, where the EBITDA close to doubled at 163 crores, and in the United Seamless business segment, the EBITDA grew nearly 4 times on a year-on-year basis. The ERW segment, that's where the profitability was a little weak, and it came in at 1 crore versus 19 crores last year. But still, strong results from Maharashtra Seamless.
Thanks for that, Surbhi. Tata Coffee a bit of a downtick, and Maharashtra Seamless could open up in the green. But let's hop across to Sonal. She's standing by to tell us about Gujarat Gas and Aster DM. Morning, Sonal.
Good morning, Nigel. Starting with Gujarat Gas, some positive news there as the Gujarat government has cut down VAT on PNG and CNG prices by 10% to 5%. So this reduces tax on CNG by 5 rupees per kg and on PNG by 4.3 rupees per SCM. It will help a company like Gujarat Gas to actually pass it on to consumers and improve their volumes, which have been under some pressure lately because of higher prices. Moving on to Aster DM, the retail arm of the company, Aster Pharmacy, has entered into a long-term joint venture agreement with Al Hokair Holding Group. This is to set up and operate pharmacies in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and the partnership together plans to set up and operate 250 plus stores over the next 5 years. So that stock remains in focus as well.
Okay, thanks a lot for that. Vivek is also with us. He has a couple of stocks on his radar. Vivek, what are you looking at this morning?
Well, good morning. A couple of stocks on the radar to keep an eye out for, some operational updates and some news flow coming in. LJVN is the first stock. Now, the company's arm, LJVN Green Energy, has gone ahead and signed a pact for a 1,000 megawatt solar power project in the state of Assam. So now the LJVN is going to invest almost 6,000 crores for this particular project. Next on our list is Adani Transmission. Some strong, positive momentum seen as far as the operations of both the transmission as well as the distribution business side is concerned. Operated transmission lines upwards of almost 99.76%. And when it comes to the distribution business, the distribution utility rose almost 13% on a year-on-year basis. The company also managed to minimize the distribution losses, coming in at around 6% versus northwards of 7% last time around. Very interestingly, the other stock to keep on the radar will be Container Corporation. Expect some green on the screen over here. Now, the company has actually managed to give an improvement in total throughput in the 20-foot equivalent, that is the unit that is used to measure this particular segment. It is up almost 16.6% on a year-on-year basis. Brokerage house Nomura has also written a note. They are saying that this indicates that the company has managed to reverse the market share loss, and Nomura is expecting strong results as far as this particular quarter is concerned for Concor on the back of this particular operational update.
Okay, thanks a lot for that. Well, in case you missed out on any of the stocks, here they are. The stocks with positive news flow this morning: the Z Entertainment, Maharashtra Seamless, Gujarat Gas, Aster DM, SJVN, Adani Transmission and Concor. While stocks with negative news flow today, there's Samvardhana, Motherson, Canfin Homes and Tata Coffee.